Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is, baby. Listen, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell button for the uploads of the notifications, baby. Listen, if you're part of the mineral gang, make sure you get one of these, listen, you ain't got the minerals, baby. Listen. Alright, we're here to give you guys a review of Love Island. If you haven't watched part 1 when we talk about Mike and Leanne, then you need to get onto that. But whilst we're going to drop that part 2 as well. And we're also going to be dropping our Black Twitter tweets video as well at lunchtime tomorrow. So make sure you tune in for that. So, guys, oh my gosh, what's going on? Where do I even start? Let me start with Callum and... is it Shanuga, Adanuga, Jeremy, Skepta? What is it? Like, is it Shanuga, Shanice? It's a long name, fam. Like, now I understand why white people suffer to get our names on the register correct, because I'm not sure what her name is. Like, but anyway, listen, yeah. I think it's Shanu, bruv. Shauna and Callum. Whew, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I love the fact that, Shauna is straight rider. She's a straight rider. I'm a straight rider. I'm on the road with me. I don't know if that's the right lyrics, but you know what I mean. Like, she's down to ride. You know what I'm saying? And she's gonna go in hard for her man. It's obviously, it's funny because it's a bit early in it, but she's on setting her territory and claiming her man. Like I said, she's not the one to play with. Not the one to play with. I am now scared for the twin because the twin has taken her man, and I'm scared that she's going to become like the ice queen and yak this woman for her man. Do you not see what she did before? Do you not see what she did before the end? She literally lipsed my man, and someone put it as the 90th minute top corner screamer, yeah, to equalize the game. But unfortunately, in extra time, golden goal, the twin took Callum off her hands. But I actually did say this earlier on for the first day about how she chooses her man, and the fact that even that kiss that she did with him, and like how she laid into him as well, how she really wanted him. It's all like for her. Like I said, there's an element of control here. In the sense of like these younger boys give her that element of control because there's an element of naivety, and so she likes to really prowl. You know what I mean? She's like when we say the cougar, that's what we're talking about, baby. But she ain't really a cougar because she's young. But it's the same kind of thing. It's like the cougar wants a younger guy, in it kind of thing. But for her, it's all. I get this sense of this. There is a slight insecurity that's there as well. There's an easiness to fall in deep, darling. Don't come and waste my money. Rise from the waters. Don't start drowning now, darling. We can't start treading the waters into the deep if you're gonna start drowning in the shallow. You understand? Do you understand what I said? It's a proverb somewhere. I said, don't come thinking and drowning in the shallow when we have to go deep. You understand? Like, we're not got time for you to get sucked into the shallow when there needs to be time for you to go deep and actually understand who this person Callum is. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know, maybe it's her job and being around politicians and stuff like that. Maybe that's why she likes younger men. She's always around maybe older men, because the politics usually does have older people usually. Maybe that's an inkling as to why she's so intent on trying to go for the younger guys. But she's set on claiming him from jump, bruv. Like, she's already started saying that's my man, and she's joking, but she ain't joking. You know the one where they're joking, but she ain't joking. She's on things. You understand? There was a scene where Callum obviously got called by the twins, didn't it, the first time round, and the way he too, like Mike, jumped like a little bunny rabbit, quick, and scooted after these two. Whoa, Callum. And the reason why I believe that is because I don't think Callum is really feeling Shauna really that much, and I think it's because she's laying it on thick for him. I think for her, laying it on so early, the reason why she's probably laying it on so much is because he's not laying it on as much, and therefore he's having his cake and eating it. and really he's not invested that deeply with her. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think the twins are more his type, if I'm honest. And obviously the twins were obviously fighting over him as well. And I think it's just because of his personality, his age, his energy, his laugh. He is tall, dark, and handsome, baby. So he fits their description in that particular sense. Not only that, when he had a second conversation, though, we do have to point this out. There was a second conversation with the twins where Callum too also didn't tell the whole truth. He didn't necessarily shut it down either. He left it very open for them to choose him. So therefore, again, we conclude that is there really a liking for Shauna? Potentially not. I know it's early days and you're keeping your options open, but if you're gonna go with the twins, it means you're thinking that you've got an upgrade. Why? Because if you thought you had a better option, with Shauna, you would have stayed with Shauna. You get it? And same thing with Connor. Connor obviously was enjoying their presence because, again, he's trying to upgrade because for him, he really says Sophie's not his type. And even coming on to Sophie and Connor as well. Now, Connor, listen, I defended you in the first episode review, but I cannot defend you in the second one. Brother, if you decide to tell the ITV bosses that you have slept with 100 gal, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 20, 100 stuff, then that's you, fam. We can't do anything about it. You decided. You have decided to tell them that you slept with 100 gal. Then you can't start being sensitive and oversensitive about it. You've done it once about the threesome and I gave you a little blind that you might be sensitive. But on this occasion, you can't. Because you volunteered the information just like the first time. I gave you the one time I said, let me leave it alone. I always have to give you a second chance. Then the second time, you decided to now get sensitive again. But I do agree that his point was partly proven. Because after this 100 thing happened, and she correctly guessed in the challenge as well that it was him, that he had slept with 100 girl, and actually someone pointed it out as well. If he's been in a relationship for 7.5 years or 7 years or whatever he's been saying, which means he was in a relationship from 18, a total of 7 years, so between 18 and 25. At what point did you have time to have sex with 100 girl? When did you start sleeping with this girl? Were you sleeping with this girl from 16 to 18? You slept with 100 girl and then got into 2 serious relationships? Please tell me how this happens. Or do you see with 100 gal right in between the time when you broke up with each individual girl? Like, what's going on in your brain, bro? And then the fact is, it's almost as if he condemns himself, so he hasn't himself forgiven himself. And because of that, he's projecting, which is called a self-defense mechanism, projecting onto now Sophie. So, I know you're gonna judge me and da-da-da-da-da. And he did this with the threesome thing and took it more seriously than he needed to. Now, don't get it twisted. Sophie did admit in the booth box, not to him, but in the booth box, that obviously, it does slightly affect her, her thinking towards him. And that's absolutely natural. That's why when she asked him the reverse question, and this is where men get caught out, ask him the reverse question, well, if I slept with 100 guys, how would you feel? You see, you're not deep in it, yeah? And that's the truest comment that she made. Absolute truest comment. Nothing to do with feminism, nothing to do with, trying to support women's rights, whatever. No, it's about the fact that men have this sense of entitlement. When they're doing something, they want to have a leeway and a bly. When it's a woman, they don't want to give that bly. Now, you said 100 gal you slept with. If she had slept with 100 gal, would you consider her? You're saying that you feel bad. But let's see some active change. And when I say active change, that means for me that stop feeling so bloody sorry for yourself. Own it and say, listen, do you know what I've learned? You see, when I know people have learned something from the situation, they're able to articulate that they've learned something from the situation. People who haven't learned from the situation but keep on going on, don't articulate that they've learned something from the situation. Why? Because they ain't learned something from the situation. Very simple. So I haven't heard them speak and say, listen, do you know what? Sophie, do you know what? Yeah, that was me. And actually, do you know what? I've learned a lot from then. I was in a place where I didn't really understand women, and you know what? I was just enjoying myself, and I took advantage of the situation, the fact that, I was a single male, blah, 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 blah. But I've learned that none of that really is what I want. And I'm not looking for that. That would reassure some people that you've learned from the previous thing. But you don't state any of that. You just keep saying, well, don't judge me, don't judge me, don't judge me. That lets me know you're still ashamed. And if you're still ashamed, you're more likely to do something again. A guilty man can't come before the Lord. A person who feels guilty doesn't want to come before holiness. A guilty person doesn't want to come before perfection. Why? Because they feel they are insignificant. They feel that they're not worthy of that. This is why a lot of people can't come to God. So when you begin to understand that I am not guilty, God has taken away that particular side of things, right? He dealt with it within Jesus, right? People can come to God. And it's the same thing here. Until he deals with the shame, until he deals with himself and says, look, do you know what? That was me. I am no longer that person. Because if you're proud enough of who you are now, you'll be like, listen, I know that was the past. And I that was, I'm ashamed of that. But do you know what? I'm walking with my head held high because I know that's not me anymore. But he can't do that because it may still be him. It may still be in him. It may be still in those jeans. And I mean that in more than one way. Do you get me? So, Sophie was quite right to have her feelings and thoughts on the fact that he said 100 gal, because she's absolutely right. If she had said it, how would he feel? How would he feel? And I really respected the fact that, one thing I did respect about Connor is that and I was saying it literally as he was doing it, I said it before he did it. Sophie again came to find him and went to put him over to have a conversation. Really loved that as well. Just showing that she's interested. Her coming over to have a conversation with him just shows that she's interested. So they're gonna have a conversation. Whilst they're having that conversation, what's said is about obviously and I was gonna say as well, I just want him to be honest and say how he feels. So listen, look, do you know what? I'm actually kind of liking you, and I want to get to know you a bit more. But I just want to kind of find out where you're standing. Again, PEW. That's my position. My position is I like you. He puts an expectation. I would like to get to know you more. What's your position? What's your wants here? Do you know what I'm saying? And the person then goes, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm feeling you too. And you know what? Actually, in that, I'm agreeing with you. And then okay, cool, where to go from. And she said as well, like, she likes it. She likes him, and she wants to get to know more. Beautiful. No more complaints. Everyone knows where they stand. Let's keep it kosher. And I don't know what happened before the girls came over. He actually scooted all the way over to the other side of the chair. Now I'm not sure that's because of the sunlight or what. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but it did look odd for me. It did look odd for me, and I was like, And just going back onto the 100 gal thing as well. Sophie also said that, there was a thing where he said about she likes about sex position. She likes all of them. So she's also asked herself about the sexual stuff, and fam, you don't hear her crying about it, bro. Get a hold of your loins, Connor. Connor, get a hold of your loins, man up, and begin to walk in your manhood. Stop becoming this little chick. Sorry, that is wrong to say. Stop getting so overworked and overthinking everything. All you stated was 100 gal. She's not turned off. She just said obviously it was a little bit unnerving. That's it. Move forward. Ollie and Paige. Well, I don't want to talk too long about Ollie and Paige. You know what? I don't want to talk too much about Ollie and Paige. Why? Because to be honest, yeah, we know that Paige obviously switched tactics when she heard landowner. So really and truly, I just see everything that she's doing now is fake when she tries to get to know him. But it was interesting though. I guess obviously there was a hypocrisy and a double standard, but I think it's born out of the fact that once you know the darkness, you now know someone else can be dark. Once you experience the darkness, you now know someone else can be dark. Something like cheating. When you've cheated before, you now know the world is dark because everyone considers themselves to be a semi-decent good person, right? And so when you do something like cheating, it makes you realize, whoa, if I can cheat, then so can he or she. Maybe, like, whoa, the world is real, Like, there are people out there that can do what I do. And suddenly, innocent is no longer innocent. Nobody's innocent because you were innocent. You know what I'm saying? But when you cheated, you no longer became innocent. So deep it now, yeah? That's why she's got a trauma, because apparently she cheated on Lewis Capaldi. That's why she's got a trauma now dealing with cheating, because now she found out Ollie has cheated 8 or 9 times during the task. And then they had a conversation on the beanbags with Callum and... Connor and Sophie, and her body language was all off, legs all pulled in, tucked in, or like, she was a very small surface area. And when he was talking to her about the situation, she was mentioning the fact that cheating 8 or 9 times and how it made her feel and etc etc. And I was like, well, darling, it's hypocritical and rich of you to state that it's making you feel unnerving when you have cheated. If anything, you should know how it feels. But the truth of the matter is, once you've cheated in your life, forever, you will no longer trust people to be innocent. It's done. It's like Adam and Eve eating a fruit from the tree. Your eyes are now open. You cannot unsee forever to reach heaven. And I understand obviously Paige's sentiment, because obviously, you know, to hear someone cheat 8 or 9 times, especially 8 or 9 times, it's a bit a lot, man. But it, you know, it is. We do try to learn from our experiences and what people have done in their past, and try to learn from it and try to avoid certain patterns. So I can understand that. I get her point of view for being cautious when it comes to that as well. So it makes sense. Yeah. And then Shanaz or Shanice and Naz. Shanice just reminds me of women in general, and then she reminds me of what I said about people in general. Yeah, both men and women. How when they don't want it, you know. Listen, the last piece of meat is on the table. You don't even really want it, you know. You want the option to have it. Do you understand? That's Shanice right now. She didn't want Nas. In fact, she friend-zoned him with a firmity. To the point that even when she saw him with the girls, the twins, and heard the fact that they like personality, she started feeling a certain way when he started making breakfast and say, why hasn't he made breakfast for me? Da, 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 da. And, you know, Shauna had to correct her and say, listen, my darling, look, you friend-zoned this guy. So why are you expecting more benefits of a girlfriend or like someone who he likes when you've classed him as a friend? And not only women do this, men do this too, but, you know, majority of women do this a lot. They friend-zone the guy and then expect him to behave in a normal fashion. No, I'm not going to be your normal friend anymore. We've done past that when you put me in a friend zone. Do you get what I'm saying? And she was feeling a certain way, and I was like, why are you feeling a certain way when you really done told me the guy is friend-zoned? Like, why are you feeling away? And it's all about, again, power, control. Not being able to control the narrative means that you have no power. That's the whole point. You know, we all want to, sometimes, not all of us, but a lot of us want to control things so that we have power. You understand? And that's the deep thing about it. Obviously, during the challenge war, I think Naz and her kissed, and she again, you know, buoyed it off by saying, look, you know what? Yeah, there was no passion between us two. So, darling, if there's no passion between you two and he's making breakfast for somebody else, why should he waste his time with you? You want that security, yeah? And this is a classic case. Wanting that security, but when obviously it comes for more, for you to return, you don't want to return the favour. Because at the end of the day, you're getting what you want, right? You're manipulating the situation to get what you want, but you don't want to reply. Oh, darling, you can't behave like this, okay? Nas is a lovely guy, and you know what, fam? It's going to be a long one for him, but you know what, fam? He needs to get a new partner, quick. ASAP, Rocky. Yeah, we're tired of this madness. You know what I'm saying? We tired of this madness, okay? So yeah, guys, that was my little review of Love Island. Let me know your thoughts down below. I mean, what do you think of the situation in Love Island? Love to hear from you. Comment down below. Like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell button for the notifications. And little black book, appreciate you guys. You already know what time it is, baby.